Hello.
Now mine's not saying live.
Mine is saying live.
There we go. Now I'm live. I'm slightly behind. I did actually get paused for a second there as well. So yeah, okay, I trust you. That's obviously my end again.
If not, we're just like talking to ourselves. That's fine.
No, we're good. We're live. We're live. Hello.
Well, we'll just see what happens, I guess. And if not, this is a practice run.
Christmas.
Look at us, guys. We came prepared. Because we thought today is all about Christmas. For those of you who are only listening to the audio, tough luck.
We were showing our Christmas outfits. So just in case you wondered why we paused.
Have a look. Because we thought it is December in 2 days, which is mad on its own. So we thought we'd be on brand a bit. And show off some Christmas jumpers and just be kind of have it all. The topic.
Get it in the Christmas spirit.
I started decorating my flat. You decorated your house. I saw on Instagram the other day, full out.
Earlier than normal. I've always been a December Christmas person. But you know what? I just decided to drop the Scrooge a tiny bit this year and just say, you know what? Let's go. This is a perfect time to do it. Let's get everything out and ready. So I was going to apologize for us wearing Christmas outfits in November, but you know what? YOLO, right? YOLO.
I feel like the last few days in November, you can already kind of start with everything because it's also when like Christmas markets are opening and all these kind of things. So I feel it's good. It's a great time. It's a perfect time.
Yeah, why not?
Why not?
And it's an on point topic though, isn't it? Because this is a funny time of the year for a lot of people. But also it's not that confusing if you know what you're doing or how to do it. So that's why we were well prepared with this one because it was right on time, right on cue.
Yeah, and so that you guys are all prepared for December and Christmas, we'll just give you our hot tips, hot picks, or whatever to survive this crazy festive season that is always the scarcity for most people, right? For some reason.
Yeah, but it's a time of year where there is a lot going on, whether that is actually physically going on, but also mentally as well, right? There's a lot of stuff that you have to prepare for, whether it's presents or events or you've got to book everything in advance. And then people are winding down, aren't they? There's normally like for a lot of people a week, 2 weeks breaks. Everyone's trying to cram in a 4 months work into a shorter working period. So there's a lot of overwhelm mentally. So then to take anything on extra or that actually doesn't even really have a purpose behind it is easy to push aside. It saves space in the brain, right?
Yeah. So before we get started,
I thought she forgot. I was trying to move us on.
Never. No way. So my secret question for you is also Christmas related. Shock horror.
Makes sense.
What is your favorite Christmas movie?
Easy.
Don't tell me.
The Grinch. Jim Carrey in The Grinch is the epitome of perfect performance. Perfect. It's just I could watch it all the time. I'll tell you what as well. I'll give you a little extra. That is my favorite film. My Christmas feel. And it's not quite a film. I don't know what it is about it, but I absolutely love The Gruffalo's Child. Yeah. Absolutely love it. It's just got something little Christmassy when that comes on the telly around Christmas period. I just love it. It's just snowy. I don't know. I love it. So I gave you 2 there today.
Love it. Okay. Aloha. Tell me The Grinch, and like it's the one each.
The Grinch is fantastic. There's so many though. There's so many, but I just love it. It's just fun. Jim Carrey is just so good in it. There's so many that I could list off, but that if we're going one, that has to be it.
Yeah, amazing. Good. Well, let's start, shall we? So, um, uh, well, there's lots we can cover, and I hope we get to lots of the points. But I think the most important thing we should start with, and it's also how to maybe survive this time of year, right? Is with the mindset, right? So, you briefly, or we when we spoke before, we just talked about our own clients as well, and like maybe how we're supporting them throughout this time of the year. But a lot of people are going into December thinking this is the be all end all kind of situation for everything. It's, I feel like most people go into December, even mid November already sometimes, and thinking that's it. The year's done. Like, screw everything. Screw my business goals. Screw my personal goals. Screw my fitness and health and well-being, everything. It's getting dark and cold and miserable. So what's the point of continuing with putting in some effort and continuing with whatever I started building the last 11 and a half months of the year, right? And like going into this time of year thinking, okay, nothing's gonna matter anyway. There's no point of continuing to work out, continuing to sleep, continuing to, do all the things because, it's Christmas. It's this time of the year where everywhere it's like lots of alcohol, lots of food, lots of festivities. So, how about we start with just setting up the foundations, which is mindset, right?
But yeah, because when you say it's all about mindset, like there's so many elements to that as well, and it
Yeah,
is a lot. Could you break that down into just perception? It's just a perception of this time of year, because let's not blanket over. It is difficult this time of year. When it is darker, it is colder. There is a natural difficulty to winter and staying on track, because but that's when most people fall off, right? Because when things get tough, the successful find a way to push through, and the people that are least successful, or end up quitting, they don't find a solution to get through. um and a lot of the time, and you said that there, like, so many people right now is like, what's your 2024 goals? And I'm like, it's November, it's not even December. Like, I'm focusing on today. Like, what do I need to do today? Like, I'm going to take over a 3 week period. I'm taking 2 weeks off, so half a week, half a week. I'll deal with that break then, and I'll deal with 24 then. Right now, I'm focusing on what I can control today, because there's still so much time left. Like, imagine what you could do in the run up to whatever, 22nd, 23rd. Imagine what you could achieve in that time if you just continue to take daily action rather than worrying what you're going to be doing next year. That's just my perception. I know people like to plan, but I think you should focus on what you can control today.
yeah. And it's this as well, and you and I spoke about this a lot before, like when we were planning a bit for this event, right? And it's what I tell everyone every year, and you probably as well. People are so concerned with what's happening between now and New Year's, or Christmas and New Year's, but completely forgetting it's just this 1% of the year they so worried about, rather than focusing on what's happening between New Year's and Christmas, right? And it's just, it's, yeah, like the year's not over yet. We still have so much time. There's still so much time. And this is also why I hate New Year's resolutions, because I feel like people are now getting to the point that starting to plan Christmas and New Year's, and so they're starting to plan their next year and think, okay, what do I want to achieve next year? Okay, great, but everything you want to achieve next year starts now. It starts right now, today. And if it doesn't start today, it's going to start tomorrow, right? Because what happens is now you just kind of, I don't know, go on with December and think nothing's going to happen now anyway, screw it. probably end up being worse off comes January and have to start from like even a worse beginning than you would have if you set some foundations now.
Yeah, but that's where that overwhelm and overthinking comes in. That the process is massive. The process and the journey is big. It is.
Yeah.
It's a whole transformation mentally, physically. There is a lot of parts to play, but the action element is simple. And when people talk about like SMART goals in their 2024, for me, it's a blanket. You've got your ultimate vision and what you want to achieve in life, and then that's in a way almost like forgotten, because that's irrelevant if you're not taking action. So then, when people say, "Oh, I've just got too much on," what to drink half more of this bottle? You're too busy to drink a little bit more here, or how about 500 more steps? What about a 1 minute workout over zero? And it's those showing up elements that actually then either you only just have that minimum marker, which is okay because it's more than none, or you actually end up doing more because you found your momentum. So I just find, because Christmas time, the festive period, and by the way, December and Christmas are two different things. December and the festive season and Christmas are different things. That's where we get confused. But I find that because there is so much extra overwhelm, it's easy to delete. And we delete what actually is probably the most important part, which is our progression to our goals and our health, because maybe we don't have the purpose behind it. Maybe it is just a weight loss goal, or I just want to be a bit stronger, a bit leaner, a bit more toned. It's easy just to go, right, I'll get my milk later. I'll do that tomorrow. Whereas if our purpose is big enough, you will continue to take that daily action because it's not that big. It doesn't have to be that overwhelming and time consuming once you know what those actions are.
Yeah, and exactly like you said, it's not the whole of December. Like Christmas is maybe 2 days, 3 if you have a very stable family. But but other than that, sorry, what I'm saying, but it's just 3 days out of the year, okay? And like it's not the whole of December, and yes, there's Christmas parties everywhere and Christmas markets and everything else, right? And it's colder, but it's been colder since a lot, like already, right? It's not like December is freezing cold and dark. It's been like that for like the last 2 months at least where I am. So it's not like, hi, news, it's cold now.
Yeah.
Right? So just really treating it as a time, like a normal time of the year, because even during the year, there's always something. There's a summer party and summer holidays and weddings and birthdays and other things going on throughout the year when no one is even like slightly worried about, leading up to certain events of the year, because it's just an event during the year, right? And so is December, and so is your Christmas party from work or with your friends. It's just one evening, and you can still be smart attending events, right? You don't have to be like, okay, screw it, that's it, I'm done.
Yeah. Well, I did a post the other day, went down an absolute treat because so many people like, wow, this is so simple. I'm going to give it a go. And a lot of people did. And I call it the Christmas calendar. You just get your diary out for December and you mark on there days that you will be off. So you got Christmas Eve, maybe Christmas Day, Boxing Day, New Year's Eve if you party, maybe 1 or 2 work events. You put them down. If they're going to be days to really struggle to stay on track, just mark them as off. Have a day off. That's not a problem. And then after that, if you're just like you mentioned there, Christmas market, okay, you don't need to overconsume a Christmas market. You can just balance that within your day. It could be your dinner, with a mulled wine or German beer, or whatever it might be. So you'd mark on there days where you can control it. It might be a meal out or Christmas lunch, but you can still control your day. And then mark on there all your calorie deficit days, all the days that you don't have absolutely anything on. You will be surprised how many calorie deficit days, if you're looking for fat loss, obviously, that you can get in December, even with those 5-6 days that you are completely off and maybe a few maintenance days. But that just takes a little bit of planning. It takes a pen and a paper and a purpose enough to sit down and mark it out and have a look and see, where am I going to thrive and where am I going to have to balance this out? Because it may be tough for some people. A maintenance could be a win. A maintenance month could be an absolute win to somebody. Yet planning that is a win. Not planning that is a fail, it's negativity, and then you don't want to carry on because the shame and the guilt has taken over again. But that Christmas calendar is so simple, yet it's so powerful for this time of year. And like you said, holidays or busier times in the summer, it can be used at any time.
Yeah, and it's also, do you really need to eat everything that's like offered on the Christmas market? Because well, it's freaking expensive. It's ridiculous. You pay €8 for freaking sausage, and I'm like, excuse me.
it, but then we got that priority issue, right? It's that I'm at a Christmas market, so I expect those prices. So I'm gonna pay them. I'm here. This is amazing.
And I'm German. But yeah, like that. But like the point is also, right, you don't, it's like not looking at the price, right? Because that doesn't matter. It could be like 2, right? It's like not the point. But the point is, do I really have to indulge in everything that's offered? Or can I be smart and like go and take a walk and have a look at everything that's there and then decide, oh, what do I fancy most? Rather than just jumping into the first stall of like, I don't know, cheesy mushrooms with like lots of garlic sauce. Do you not have them? We have.
No, I've not seen cheesy mushrooms with garlic sauce. No.
Lemon Christmas
Sounds
nugget.
good though. Sounds
Yeah,
good.
you should come, do treat your family for a weekend. But so that's what I do, right? I go and I have a look, and then I see, what do I fancy, what do I actually want to eat and enjoy, rather than just eating every single thing or every other thing, and then just being too full already, and then, oh, but what about this? I could eat this, and then it's not actually enjoyable anymore, right? So picking your 1, 2, or 3 things that you would like to eat that night, and having the mulled wine, but then making sure you fully enjoy them, because you also have enough space for food, and you're not already like overfilled with whatever else you just had.
Yeah, but it's that you don't have to overconsume to have a good time. You don't have to overeat to have a good time. A lot of people see food and drink as a source of happiness. It is more of a short form happiness. It doesn't last long, and obviously, then if you then overconsume, you have that whatever, the being upset or depressed about carrying too much body fat around. So it's a short form of happiness, which is okay. It's fine. It is part of our life. It has been. Even when hunting gatherers would find honey and things like that, it was a form of happiness. The problem is the overconsumption. What is the reason you need to go around to every stall and consume everything? Now, even on the other side of that, if you're only going to one Christmas market, why not? It's just one day. It's just one night. Who cares? Okay, it's not going to cause you any damage on one day. It's the perception of that one day. Whereas if you are going to multiple Christmas markets and you're doing the same thing all the time, that's when you're like, okay, well, what's the reason are you needing to go and overconsume? Is it stress? Is it fatigue? Is it poor eating habits? What is it that actually the bigger picture that we can then build a better relationship with you going to Christmas markets so that you can enjoy the right amounts without then the backlash afterwards with your thoughts and how you feel physically.
Yeah, and I'm going to say that because I want to visit more than one Christmas markets, because they're stunning. It depends also where you are, because I'm privileged now. This is my first year back at the pre-Christmas season in Germany. And one thing I really missed living in London was the pre-Christmas season and all the Christmas markets. And I was never aware how well we do this, but we really do this well.
That's known though, isn't it? Because it's always a German Christmas market, even over here. But I'm pretty sure it won't be anything like you guys have it over there.
Someone once told me, because I lived in London, right? And there's Winter Wonderland, and people were like, just go, it's the same. And I went, I never felt more offended in my life to Winter Wonderland. But
yeah.
So I'll be attending more than one Christmas market, right? Do I have to super indulge on everyone? No, I'm not going there for the food. I'm going there for the atmosphere. Yeah, I might like have like a snack or whatever. But I'm not going there to eat. I'm going there for the atmosphere, to have a mulled wine, to spend some time with my friends, to go ice skating, all these kind of things, right? And I think we need to start seeing these markets and times as more than just food, because what if we look at the whole purpose that is actually the festive season, it's being together and being merry and being with our loved ones and things like that. It's not to just eat and drink, like it's just the byproduct. But like you said, Sean, like we don't always need to just eat and drink all the time and celebrate with just food and drinks. Like there's other ways to celebrate, right? So
Mhm.
can you go and make the most out of it without just thinking, oh, now I have to eat? So you don't have to, like, no, you're not like forced to eat everything or anything at all if you don't want to, right? So you can even have dinner at yours and go, and you're already filled up, and then go and enjoy the time with your friends and just look at the nice stores and what they have, like maybe buy other presents, whatever. But stop, like I think we need to get away from this thinking that festive season and period is about food and drinking. Is not. It's about being together, having a good time, and enjoying yourself. And enjoying yourself doesn't always need to be with food.
Yeah, it's that. Well, I'll leave the swearing to you, but that whole saying,
How
F,
you?
F it, Christmas.
Yeah.
Okay, that whole saying. And a lot of that is purely excuse. Now, excuses can be genuine or they can be lies, but there's always a solution around it. One I had a client the other day is like, yeah, but when you've got those tin of roses or tin of celebrations, it's so hard. No, it's not. It's not hard when you're in control. And what you have to remember, Julia and I are not hypocrites. We will have the chocolate. We will have the beer at the Christmas market. It's not a restrictive approach that either of us have. The question I'd be like, okay, well, what's the reason you can't have 3 roses or celebrations? What's the reason you're having 10? And the client I had, she mentioned that she had 10. Well, those, I think, don't quote me, but I think they're all about 50 calories or so, aren't they? The little ones, I think, roughly. Well, 50 times 10, 500. Your calorie deficit, gone. This thing ain't stupid. This thing ain't stupid. It will take exactly what it needs, sometimes a little bit more, but it will take away your calorie deficit as soon as you don't think about it. And like I said, it comes down to, and I always ask myself, well, what's the reason you're over consuming? Let's find that out. What's the reason you need 10 and that 2 isn't enough? Because you're allowed to have them. You're an adult. You're grown up. You're allowed to have them if you want to. But what's the reason you can't stop yourself? Because I have been the whole tin guy, and now I'm very much, okay, well, I'll have 1. That will be more than enough. Thank you. So I know that is possible to change. But then is it because so many people are tired and burnt out this time of year, that we're at the end of the year? We've been pushing so hard. It's a long way from summer. We haven't had breaks. Not everybody does winter holidays. Is there an element that people are just so exhausted, stressed, and burnt out that enough's enough, and the brain's saying, yep, perfect time to do it?
Yeah. It's like the same rules apply. Well, I call them rules. They're not, whatever. We're not your mom and dad, but think what is your bigger issue here, right? And most of the time we comfort eat because we're overwhelmed, stressed, exhausted, and other needs are not met. Okay. So yes, everyone is probably very stressed right now. It's also a very difficult time for a lot of people for other reasons. Okay. So we have to bear that in mind as well. But can you then just maybe take a couple of hours out of your week on a Sunday or Friday evening and just really sit with yourself? And I know we talked about this before, but thinking, okay, what do I really need right now? Is it 10 chocolate, whatever things and, cheesy garlic mushrooms? Or is it just some comfort? And how can I give myself comfort in other ways? And how can I care more for myself and maybe sleep more? Or can you go and do a day at the spa and just, I don't know, treat yourself to a massage instead, or go to the sauna or relax in other ways? Do I need to just breathe, right? Do I need to like just sit with myself and actually properly breathe? Do I need to hydrate? What do I need? Do I need to call my mom and tell her I love her? Like, it's just sometimes simple things like this, because we're like overstimulated at this time of the year, especially with everything and advertisement and TV and social media and what have you, that it's easy to just let yourself slip and just overdo it, and then not be able to take 5 minutes and just actually ask yourself, okay, what do I actually need right now? Am I just overwhelmed? Okay, fine. How can I kind of work through it? Can I just take an hour, put my phone away, turn it off, turn everything off, and just be with myself 1 hour and just like calm down?
Yeah. And one of my favorite quotes is by Henry Ford, and it's, thinking is one of the hardest things that we do, hence why so many don't engage in it. And this is a prime example that because things are so overwhelming, so stressful at this time of year, to add in any more thinking is difficult. Okay, so to feel better quicker, chocolate and alcohol seem to be the hot ones this time of year. A few other bits, but that's a quick hit of happiness. It's a drug. They're all drugs. Caffeine's drug, sugar's drug, alcohol's drug, all drugs. They have an immediate high followed by a low. Now, I also love the saying poison's in the dosage, because somebody who might be really struggling might need a glass of wine and be okay. And that's fine. That is absolutely fine. I would never tell somebody to push themselves into an anxiety attack or whatever at the sake of just kind of one item. But the poison is in the dosage. If you're over consuming it, something bigger is missing, a bigger piece of the puzzle. And just to stop for a second and think and look at what you're trying to achieve. Okay, I'm trying to unwind. Okay, so what's going to be better for me tomorrow, the next day? What's going to be better for my family, that I go do a workout, a walk, a hot bath, a spa, or let's pound this bottle of wine, but then all of those symptoms will still be here. It's a plaster over the burst pipe. So if we can deal with kind of the overwhelm, somebody on LinkedIn the other day put a post out about, kind of in a sense, in the rush to get ready for Christmas, don't forget to slow down and enjoy it. It's a magical time of the year, isn't it? Whether you have kids or not, it's very social. You get to see your friends. There's a great atmosphere around it. And the getting prepared for it isn't as big as we often make out. So don't forget to slow down. Don't forget to take it all in. Don't stress yourself out. Maybe allocate certain times to do stuff and other times to do more chilled, relaxed Christmas stuff, like just watching The Grinch. You love it, Julia, just as much as I do. So, sometimes that's all we need. We just need to watch The Grinch, and we don't need anything else with it.
Maybe have a cup of tea instead of a glass of wine.
It could work. But that's another thing, right? Trying and testing. What else could I do that would make me feel good? Some people have just changed to like tonic water, rather than gin and tonic, and actually it's been more than enough.
And put it in a wine glass with like some lemon, and then it just, sometimes the alcohol is just about being fancy and having a fancy glass in your hand. So yes, buy a nice wine glass or champagne glass and put some like whatever tonic water, sparkling water in it. Make it look fancy. Buy some glitter. I don't care. And give yourself that experience, right? But because
that's perception again.
Yeah.
Because there's a true story. This guy had a wine company, and he designed a glass, expensive wine, and he designed a glass that they had to drink out of. And the client said the wine tasted so much better that out of this glass, whereas actually when they did studies on it, there was no difference. It was just a shape, but that just perception of that glass. So sometimes you don't actually necessarily, the non-alcoholic beers, sometimes it's just the perception of holding a bottle that looks like a beer might actually be enough. And again, we're not telling people to not have a beer. We're just trying to find solutions that you don't overconsume. You let go of this December, whereas every day is just an opportunity to work on yourself or your goals without restricting yourself. It is possible.
Yeah, it really is. And it is really a magical time. And someone said in the comments as well that, we have lost the meaning of what like we said as well before. And I want to just really stress that. Really, go deep inside you, like, And my English is getting worse, by the way. Just,
You've been away a while now.
the worst thing is my German isn't getting better either. So I'm like in a limbo. I think everyone who's bilingual knows what I'm talking about. But anyway, what does the festive season and Christmas mean to you? Right? What does it actually, for me, it means being cozy and being with my friends and, being wrapped up in a blanket and wearing like Christmas jumpers and having, tea and just being like merry with people and watching Christmas movies. All these things I've actually missed the last few years. It's not excessive drinking and eating, and I don't think it's for most people. It's just that's what we think it is, but it's actually not. So just ask yourself, what is it actually important? Why is it important to me? And what do I need most from it? Right? I wanted to say something else, but I've forgotten now.
If it's important, it will come back to you.
Yes, I'll put it in the.
But even what Julie's saying there, just actually write it down. There is a power of getting stuff out of your head and down on paper, and actually write it down. What is important? Because with Black Friday, Cyber Monday, Boxing Day sales, it's very easy to think that it's about just kind of like presents. Whereas gifting element is a thing. It's nice to do. But there is a lot more to it.
Yeah.
And I think if we can bring ourselves back to that a bit more, and kind of realize that this festive season is fun, it doesn't have to all be stress and overwhelm. We can find a way to actually enjoy it without losing ourselves, I think, in the process.
Yeah, and I remember what I wanted to say. So because we now also, like we mentioned in the beginning, getting to the time where people set New Year's resolution, right? And one of those resolutions, especially in our field, is like, okay, I want to like lose weight. I want to like get fitter. I want to become more confident and comfortable in my body, right? So one thing I would really urge you to like start doing is, yes, write down what are your goals. What kind of person do you want to be? Right? Do you want to be that fit, healthy, confident person? And what are the actions of that person? Ask yourself before you have another, like, tenth of a chocolate bar. Would my future best self sign to this? Would she or he do it, or they or them, whoever you identify as? What is my best self looking like, and how would they respond in this very moment? And what my actions right now, are they aligning with who I want to be and what I want to achieve? One question I ask my clients every single week is, how have your actions aligned with your goals this week? And it's a really, really important question to ask, because you can't really confidently reach your goals if your actions don't align with those goals. It's all great setting goals and saying, I want to lose some weight. I want to start running again. I want to start in the gym. I want to, have a successful business now. I want to be a better mom and dad and whoever. Okay. But what do your actions need to look like today? Because if you can't do them today, you'll never actually properly reach those goals. So whatever you want to be in 2 years' time, it starts now.
Yeah, that's what I've just wrote that down, actually. I like that. Because that's what it's about. It's whether it's a vision, a 10-year plan, 5-year plan, 1-year plan, there has to be an action element behind it.
Yeah.
There has to be. Everything comes from taking action. And action isn't as big as you may perceive, or the diet or the fitness industry has made you perceive. You don't need to go and do a High Rocks event next week. You don't have to have 100 Tupperwares and prepped out from your food. Basic, simple action is just doing this, just writing down, what we said about the Christmas period, or just answering Julia's question there. That is an action. That is raising your awareness. It's taking you a step forward. So especially in a time that is overwhelming, keep it simple, silly. Little KISS strategy. Keep it simple, silly. Because it is simple. It might take you a little bit longer, but it won't, because you won't be starting over again. So actually, you will be constantly moving in the right direction. So if there's anything, the bit that I love the most and I want to leave on my side is that, in a rush to get ready for Christmas, don't forget to slow down and enjoy it. That's a big wake up. For me personally, the last 2 Christmases, I went in burnt out trying to get everything ready before the break, making sure all my clients were ready, making sure all my content was ready. So this year, I've been planning way in advance, and I won't have as much to do in December. So I shouldn't go in as burnt out because a lot of the stuff has been prepared already.
Yeah. Being prepared is the most important thing in your life for everything. Your business, your health, your family, everything. Fail to plan and plan to fail, right?
Something like that.
We all know what I mean. And if not, don't worry about it. So yeah, I hope that was helpful. Because mindset really is everything. We can give you all the steps and tips and whatever, but if your mindset isn't right, nothing will ever help you properly. So that's us.
That's it. We got one more for the year. 2 weeks time. Did we? I can't remember if we decided we knew what we were talking about on that one, but yeah,
we did. But never mind. We'll have a chat. If anyone has any requests, let us know as well, please.
Yeah. But yeah, thank you for anybody that joined us live today. As always, we will take questions. All the videos will be over on YouTube, and if audio will be over on Spotify. So you can catch up at any time. I think that was episode 11 today, I think. So we're flying through, I think. Not sure, but we're up there. We're definitely up there. So yeah, if you want to catch up on any of the stuff that we've covered in the past, please do. And we love feedback as long as it's not rude.
We'll also take the rude one. It's okay. We can deal with it.
Okay.
Use great content.
Yeah, okay. Be rude and we'll probably use it.
Be the rude stuff, and Shaun is gonna be like sugar coated in his life. Since you have a biscuit on your t-shirt.
I do have. I didn't even know I got a cookie there ready.
No, I love
It's just one. It's just one. It's not too many.
It's so cute.
I'll send you one.
Yes, please. Anyway, I get way too excited about these things. It's like ridiculous, honestly.
I've noticed. We've noticed.
Okay, next time we'll be here with a Christmas hat and hot chocolate.
Okay.
No
maybe
pressure.
mold one.
Okay. We should do an evening one. All right.
Thank you very much, everybody. We will see you next time.
Bye.